Hey, supporters. I'm here with a student I want to introduce you to. I'll let him do the introducing, but classes have started and I'm teaching. I have two sections of Old Testament where I teach freshmen and freshwomen who have just arrived on campus, so they're new like I'm new, and we're learning a lot together. But I wanted to take a few minutes to introduce a student who is coming to study theology. So I'm really glad to meet him. Actually, we met several weeks ago because he and his family attend the congregation here on campus that my family has been meeting with. So our whole family has gotten to know Mai Patrick Lazarus. It's a great name, Lazarus. Tell us about your family.
Wow, thank you a lot. Like you said earlier, my name's Mai Patrick Lazarus, and wow, you are like somebody who have resurrected from the dead, perhaps from the grave, but I'm really not. I'm glad to be here at HCC. My name's Mai Patrick Lazarus. I am a South Sudanese coming to study theology here, and I'm really glad meeting you. And well, I'm here with my family. I have a family, my wife and my two kids.
What's your wife's name?
Wow, my wife is by the names of Poniros, and my two kids, a baby boy and a baby girl.
Their names and ages?
Wow, my daughter is 4 years old. She is called Pony Blessing, and my son is 9 months old. He's called Joel Unyi.
And we enjoy Blessing and Joel getting to see them on Sundays.
Yes.
And your wife Rose is very sweet, and we have
Wow.
enjoyed getting to know her. So you're from South Sudan,
Yes.
which, if you've read any of the news recently, or in the past several years, South Sudan is not a very peaceful place.
Yeah, obviously, you know, the past 4 or 5 years back, when we got independence from the Sudan, and we live alone as an independent nation, all of a sudden war broke in, and all the hopes, the good things that the people of South Sudan had been hoping for, all disappeared, and the struggle is still continuing. We are yet to realize the peace that we actually seek for.
And you yourself actually grew up in Uganda, right?
Yes, I grew up in Uganda because of the war, the civil war that took almost 20 years. We were in Uganda as refugees, and I only had to come back in the year 2009 in Juba, the capital of South Sudan.
In Juba, and there you met Isaac, is that right?
Yes, I met Isaac Adote, an evangelist from Ghana here, who went there to establish a church, one of the congregation, Evangelical Mission Church of Christ, and I met him. Or it was one evening that I was going for my work, and I met him. We had a good chat together, and he introduced me to a lot of things in the Bible, and I accepted the Lord as my personal Savior. Thereafter, I was baptized, and I began working in the church.
And you were working with that church for how long?
For 7 years now.
7 years. And
Yes.
Give us an idea of how big this church is.
Wow, the congregation is really not too big, like how some people understand bigness, but it is coming up. You know, the nation is still young, and because of the ups and downs, the insecurity issues, sometimes the number increases and sometimes it drops, because people are seeking for their, economical gains. They wanted to live a better life.
We're talking like 10 people or 100 people?
In terms of population or in terms of numbers, around 150 to 200. Yes.
And you regularly preach and teach in this congregation?
Yes, when I started, it was a little bit hard because I never, got a formal training on how to do the work of the Lord. But I really must thank God for all that He has been doing in my life, especially giving me the words to speak. I was scared in the first place. I was like, what am I going to do now? Because I don't know, no formal training, and I was scared, standing in front of people. It was so difficult. But then later on, I realized that it is not me doing the work, but it is God.
Yeah.
So I began preaching, teaching, and baptizing people as well.
And you've preached here at the congregation once, so we know that you're quite comfortable in front of people now speaking.
Yep.
Mr. Isaac the evangelist told you about HCC, and tell us a little bit about your journey here. How did you arrive here?
Well, it took us almost 2 days to get here. We first had to board a plane from Juba to Ethiopia. Then we spent a night there, and the following day we proceeded to Ghana. Yes.
And you have supporters in the States who are helping pay for your education here? Is that right?
Yes.
And you are here to study.
Yep.
What are you you're a theology student.
Yeah.
What's the dream? What's the goal?
Wow, my biggest dream is that I need to get the education, get educated properly, get trainings, and then go back to South Sudan. My main point is to go back to South Sudan and then bring up the church. I wanted to work for God, and I cannot work without getting formal training. So I am interested in getting trained properly and then go back and carry on with the work there.
So you're South Sudanese,
yes,
which means you're not Ghanaian. So what's been the biggest surprise about living in Ghana for you?
Wow, a lot of things. In fact, the foods, everything here is new to me. Even my kids are looking for beans. We have the East African beans, but here it is not there. You see, so the first 2 months of me being here was really so challenging.
Yeah,
I was trying to find beans. I could go to the markets around, look for foods that can, fit us, our situation. But it is really difficult to get what we wanted. But we are looking forward to, getting stable and get used to the foods around, get used to the community, learn the Chui language, the local languages here, so that we can interact with the locals.
How do you find Heritage Christian College?
Wow. When I first heard of the Heritage, it sounds big to me. I was like, wow, now that I am coming so far, like West Africa, to come and study, I may see, a lot of things. But when I stepped here, I realized that all the thoughts that I had in the past were really not correct. I found this place to be simple, interesting, and easy to live in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what classes are you taking this term?
Well, I have 7 classes.
7?
7 years. A lot of work.
Yes. So just run through those to give people an idea of what a freshman.
Wow, the most interesting thing that I found new is that we have exercise science and nutrition. That is what I really thought we were not going to be learning about, because I was thinking I'm coming to do theology, and I must run through the courses of theology and get acquainted to what the Bible normally teaches. But here I found that there's exercise science and nutrition. Then there's the Old Testament survey. There is things to do with French. Of course, a new subject that I've never gone through. In South Sudan, we were used to this Arabic kind of things, and now here I'm introduced to French. And then there's one of the course known as computer and library literacy, which is also new to me. But the rest of the things are really so interesting. Learning about the world history, the history of the early church, talking about the first centuries, the second centuries, things that I never knew before.
Oh, you have early church history.
Yes.
Is one of your courses. Got
yes.
Yeah.
It is one of the best courses. I am currently struggling with making assignments or given 2 questions to trace the organization of the early church history. and I have to do a lot of search. He's giving me these days a lot of the work to do.
So that would be your favorite course right now.
Yes.
Well, that is kind of disheartening because I have you for a course, and I would thought, you would tell me that I was your favorite teacher. But,
I really never wanted to. I really never wanted to say that because I know your course is the best. But I wanted to.
No, you can't recover. Just you've said what you're gonna say.
No.
Listen.
Yes.
They'll understand. Okay. So you're gonna be here for 4 years.
Yes,
and
4 years.
and go back to Sudan.
Yes.
Sudan. And what's it like living in Sudan right now?
Wow. Sudan, home is home.
Yeah.
I really like going back to South Sudan and live there happily. Many people fear going back, especially the youths, because of the problems there, the economic crisis, the insecurity. People fear going back there. But me, I really believe in the Lord, and I know that I'll go back there and work there perfectly. Yes.
Well, Mai, thank you for talking to us, and thank you for sharing a little bit of your story.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.